The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
A very pleasant, good Tuesday evening to you, state basketball fans. Welcome to the 2024 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. You're watching live coverage on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. We've got a Class 2A state quarterfinal for you tonight as the 4-seeded Rebels of Sioux Central match up with the 5-seeded Rockets of Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. Good evening, everyone, with Blake Walker. Daniel Versteg with you courtside here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. Blake, you've got a couple of newbies, relatively speaking. Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont, just their second appearance since the mid-'60s. Sioux Central has never been here before, so you get two close teams, two teams who haven't been here before. You got an intriguing matchup.
Yeah, and, it always sets you up. How do the nerves play out? And I think one interesting thing is a lot of these EBF players, and we'll talk about it throughout tonight, we're just at the state volleyball tournament, right? So they've been in these state environments. Sioux Central, not as much, but there's a great crowd on hand tonight for Sioux Central. I'm excited to see how that fuels them up a little bit. Both teams have had great years, and I think it's the perfect matchup for the first round. That's why they're the 4-5.
Oh, absolutely. You can't ask for a better matchup than two one-loss teams, two teams who have had similar success throughout the season. Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont, champs of their conference. Sioux Central in second in the Twin Lakes Conference. Let's take a look at the road to state and see how both these teams got here. Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont defeated 14th-ranked North Mahaska in the Region 6 title game by 20 points. They're one of the best offenses in this field. They shoot 51% from the field. That tops the 2A field. And at 65 points a game, they're the third best offense in Class 2A. Molly Schaefer can kind of do it all. Ava Eastlick, your 3 points and defensive specialist for Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. Meanwhile, Sioux Central defeated their Twin Lakes Conference rivals from Pocahontas area to get here. They also have a really strong offense at 64 points a game. Brady Krager, the coach's daughter, she can do a lot of things for Sioux Central. Morgan Christian really distributes the basketball well at 5 assists a ball game. As we said, should be a really fun matchup between the 4 and the 5 seed. It's the Rebels and the Rockets, and it's coming your way in just a few minutes. We'll come back and we'll take a look at the channel seeds for success here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
This is our son, Sebastian. In 2021, he took half a pill he didn't know was counterfeit.
That tiny pill contained enough fentanyl to kill him almost instantly. Kids buy them on social media and share them with their friends, not realizing how dangerous they are.
Please talk to your kids about not taking anything that's not directly prescribed to them.
Our child will never get to grow up, but we want yours to be able to.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Back to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines with Blake Walker, Daniel Versteeg with you. Sioux Central and Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont continues the Class 2A state quarterfinal round. And let's now deep dive into the matchup here, Blake, a little bit. Let's take a look at the channel seats for success.
Yeah, I think first for the Rockets, I think you got to be nice and easy, and you got to keep it slow. They like to play a half-court style of offense. Don't get thrown out of rhythm just because of the state tournament. Kind of back in. You can play your style of basketball, and it won't really matter to you. Another thing is protect the ball. The coach talked about it when he gave a couple keys to start the week. He said we got to limit turnovers. They average 13 turnovers per contest. You're going to get tired. You got to hang on to the basketball. We've seen that time and time again at the state tournament. Turnovers kill teams. For Sioux Central, they like to push the ball, and they like to run, and that's really going to get EBF out of whack if they can. So if you're the Rebels, kind of keep pushing a little bit, and then just play it like it's another game. You haven't been here before. I get it, and that can get to a couple people, but you just have to tone it all out. Play every game like you have all season. You've only lost one game, and it's to New Alfondo, who is a great loss in a lower class. Just take it as any other game and just have fun tonight.
And that's the big key for success. Today's Seeds for Success were brought to you by Channel. The enhanced Channel seed brand is here to help farmers like you up your game and rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. The winner of this game will get Dyke New Hartford, the #1 team in Class 2A. Wolverines defeated Cascade earlier today by 30 points. This is our last game of the day here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Sioux Central and Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. We'll have your starting lineups coming up for you in just a couple of minutes. You're watching the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
From Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, you're watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, with Blake Walker, Daniel Versteeg with you, getting you ready for a 4 versus 5 matchup in Class 2A. Sioux Central and Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont, the last of 7 games played on this court today. It's been a busy day of basketball. We'll wrap up the 2A quarterfinals tomorrow. The 1A quarterfinals play to completion tomorrow as well. And then it is the best 3 days of the basketball season. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, semifinals and championships. It's just a great time of year.
It's insane. And, you know, a lot of people like to plan ahead for long distances. If you got a hotel for the next couple days and you want to win, and that's tough for the people that lose, but you have to anticipate and want to anticipate being here for the next couple days and get a couple breaks. But, man, it gets down to it. And, you know, you don't play a lot of games back-to-back like you do here at the state tournament.
Right. It's definitely a grind, and you see teams really tired by the time they get through it, but it's so rewarding as well. Sioux Central, Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont, just about ready to tip off. Let's go to our public address announcer for the pregame introductions.
State basketball 2A quarterfinal matchup featuring the Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont Rockets and the Sioux Central Rebels. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by EBF High School and Sioux Central High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Claire Pellet from Atlantic High School, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont High School, Ed and Carol Glenn. And from Sioux Central High School, Russ Essick. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by participants, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to just enjoy the game. Fans, it's now time to introduce the players. Tonight's 2A quarterfinal matchup. First of all, here are your non-starters and assistant coaches for the EBF Rockets. Number 2, Kinley Labrecht. Number 5, Lily Davis. Number 14, Lainey Birch. Number 21, Lacey Taylor. Number 25, Lainey Batterson. Number 31, Chloe Lyon. Number 32, Emily Kirby. And number 34, Tegan Harter. Your assistant coaches, Mike Haywood and Ryan Jackson. Now here are your non-starters and assistant coaches for the Sioux Central Rebels. Number 5, Nora Christian. Number 10, Marley Madsen. Number 12, Lindsay Peck. Number 20, Emma Smith. Number 23, Riata Ayers. Number 24, Kylie Anderson. Number 30, Ava McCarty. Number 33, Caitlin Wildeman. And number 40, Kennedy Brown. Your assistant coach, Nathan Anderson. And now, here's your starting lineups for tonight's 2A quarterfinal. For Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont at forward, a 6-foot junior number 1, Molly Schaefer. For Sioux Central at guard, a 5'9" senior number 3, Morgan Christian. For the Rockets at guard, a 5'4" junior number 3, Ava Eastlick. For the Rebels at guard, a 5'7" senior number 4, Presley Peterson. For EBF at forward, a 6-foot junior number 11, Kate Schaefer. For Sioux Central at guard, a 5'3" junior number 11, Hadley Ayers. For the Rockets at guard, a 5'6" junior number 12, Kaylee Helm. And for the Rebels at guard, a 5'9" senior number 22, Brady Krager. And for Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont at guard, a 5'9" senior number 22, Aliyah Wagaman. For Sioux Central at guard, a 5'9" sophomore number 32, Avery Wilson. Head coach for the Rockets, Tony Fenton. And for the Rebels, Casey Krager. Now let me introduce to you our officials for tonight's 2A quarterfinal as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Dan Beating, Mark Flegel, Matthew Roberts, and your auxiliary bench official, Jim Prouty. All right, who's ready for state tournament basketball?
And before we begin today's game, we'd like to once again thank Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, for their support. The Iowa Farm Bureau has an office located in each county across Iowa, and we'd like to thank the offices that are part of these two communities for their support of the two teams playing in our game today. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau, for supporting the IGHSAU and the Iowa Girl. It is Sioux Central taking on Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont here in a Class 2A state quarterfinal contest. There's not much more to talk about, not much more to do than just tip this one off. And here we go. Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont controlled it initially. Rebels get the first possession. Sioux Central at 22-1, second place finishers out of the Twin Lakes Conference. What a bloodbath that conference is, man. With Newell Fonda, Pocahontas area. Emmetsburg was really good this year. Sioux Central comes out of it at state for the first time for any of their communities since 1921, and they get it started with a bang and an Avery Wilson 3.
35% three-point shooter. Man, she can take it and shoot it, and what did we say in the pregame? Best three-point shooting team in the class, and there's a reason for it.
Absolutely. Both teams shoot the three really well. We could see this one kind of turn into a shootout. Meanwhile, Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont gets tied up. The Rockets at state for the second year in a row. As we get another look at that Avery Wilson triple. The Rockets lost last year in the quarterfinals to another Twin Lakes rival. They played Pocahontas area in the opening round and fell to the Indians in that contest. But the Rockets trying to prove that's just a one-off. They want to move on and get a chance at Dyke New Hartford, the #1 team in the state, coming up Friday morning. Molly Schaefer finding Helm in the corner, and this pass down low to Wagaman's wide. The Rebels run it out the other way. They've got so much speed, and Wilson has 5 points.
I mean, she's the youngest one out of the starting five, just a sophomore for Sioux Central, and clearly the lights aren't too bright for her to start.
The Rebel defense definitely came to play today, and they turn it into offense with a Hadley Ayers layup.
I don't think you could ask for a better start. As the timeout's already called, that is exactly how you want to start your first state tournament trip.
You can't do it any better. I mean, like you said, Blake, this is a team who has not been to state since they've been called Sioux Central, and no community in their area has been to state since 1921, and clearly they deserve to be here. The lights aren't bright enough for them.
Absolutely, and EBF kind of looks like what some may have thought they would have looked like, just a little overzealous, and you're just trying to take passes that aren't there. And right now, Sioux Central looks very calm, cool, and collected.
Tony Fenton is the head coach of the Rockets. He's in his 23rd season overall. 21 of them spent at Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. He's been around the block. He knows when a team needs a quick talking to. And after 1 minute and 25 seconds, had to pull the trigger on his first time out. So the Rockets just trying to get the ball cleanly into the front court, and they do that with Ava Eastlick. She kicks it to the corner. A quick three from Helm, misses strong. Good rebound on the backside, and the Schaefer connection does not result in a three. Peterson the rebound.
Yeah, just kind of a tough possession. That's what they want, though. They want to be in a half-court set. Meanwhile, this is all Sioux Central wants to do, take and go quick.
And they're not trying to take too much. Just a little elbow jumper from Christian. 9-0 start to the evening. That's a good dish down low, but it's Krager got her hands in there. We talked about her defense in the pregame, 3.5 steals. She nearly had one there.
Yeah, just tall and lengthy. I think that's what really helps them out here, and just a little slow on the passes here for the Rockets to start.
See if they can dial that in. They go to Wagaman, trying to let her work, but just can't get it to finish. What defense underneath from Krager. And the Rebels have a chance to go up double digits early. This kick pass is kept alive. Nice save from Wilson. They swing it around. Just trying to settle into a nice shot. You're up 9-0, but this pass is wide, and Eastlick's in a foot race with Peterson. She leans in, can't get the layup to fall.
Good, really strong defense by Sioux Central, and that's the key for EBF. Just kind of settle in, and maybe running is what you want to do if you can have a basket from it.
Trying to turn this miss into points for the behind-the-back dribble. Leads to Christian taking it away. She scoops it up. Can't get it to fall. It's a lid on the hoop for both sides here the last couple minutes. This is Molly Schaefer.
Boy, it's fun to watch the Schaefer sisters. I mean, two of the best duo in the state when it comes to state volleyball, and to see it transition here to the basketball court is pretty cool.
Yeah, having a 6-foot frame is great in volleyball. It's great in basketball as well. This jumper doesn't fall quickly from Helm, and Sioux Central continues to pitch a shutout here to start the state tournament. Pass down low, nice job from Molly Schaefer, and then Wagaman draws the first foul of the game. Morgan Christian gets whistled for it.
And the thing is, they're tightening up on the defensive side. EBF is. It's just a matter of, if you didn't start out slow, it could be a different ball game. I think they need to see one ball go in the basket right now. That's kind of what they're looking for.
Caitlin Wildeman in for Sioux Central, and our first IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Eastlick wants the three, just can't put it down. Got a tie-up and a held ball. Possession goes back to Sioux Central. One thing we didn't mention in the pregame right off the top of the broadcast, statistically, the two best three-point shooters by shots made from downtown in Class 2A. They're playing in this game. Brady Krager's made 71 for Sioux Central coming into tonight. Ava Eastlick for Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont has made 69. That's a lot of three-point attempts to go through. Got to make about 3 or so per game to get to that mark.
Dream scenarios, we have a shootout here later in this one.
Oh, I'd love it. It's a turnaround hook shot, and now Sioux Central started to dry up offensively. Thankfully, their defense has come to play. It's Molly Schaefer out to Eastlick. She wants another. And that time, she's dialed it in. Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont's on the board.
Just takes a little bit. You always hear the people say depth perception's different here at the state tournament, because it is. I mean, the stands are all the way back. Takes a little bit to adjust, and finally Eastlick gets one to go.
Sioux Central has the answer right away. There's her dueling mate with Brady Krager knocking one in.
18 points per contest. The senior is just really good. 46% from the three-point line. That's numbers that you see from a center in the post.
not just a quantity three-point shooter, but a quality three-point shooter as well. As we'll get our first free throws here. Molly Schaefer goes to the line. Krager draws the foul for Sioux Central. Here's a look at that first point for Ava Eastlick and Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. The first one just a bit strong for Molly Schaefer. Committed to play volleyball at Northern Iowa. Both her and her twin sister Kate going to play for the Panthers. Going to be teammates with somebody they'll be competing with potentially tomorrow if they can win and take on Dyke New Hartford. Rebels kick it out. Trying to go for an inside-out look as Wilson dribbles. She had the first 5 points for Sioux Central tonight. This pass gets deflected. Molly Schaefer got her hand in the lane. Couldn't come up with a steal. Kick. Wildeman's open. She drives off the shot fake, and the teardrop falls through.
That's not an easy shot. I mean, when there's no backboard and you're looking at it, I mean, you got to hope it goes in, and that's a really nice bucket.
That's a really big basket off the bench. Neither of these teams use their bench a whole lot, so any production you get off those bench minutes is huge.
You and I talked about it. EBF does not have a player on the bench that has scored or averages more than 2 points per game. So this starting five is really where you get your production.
Wagaman, mid-range, nice board. The putback doesn't go. There's a tie-up for that rebound, and EBF is going to keep the possession here.
Both teams are battling hard on the glass here. 5 rebounds for Sioux Center and now 5 for EBF.
Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont does average 35 rebounds a ball game. Both Sioux Central and EBF average double digits in the offensive rebound category. Dribble that did get aided out by Sioux Central. The Rockets keep it. Still trying to find a rhythm offensively. Eastlick got them going with a 3, and then a 1-for-2 trip from Molly Schaefer.
She's really been the only one that's been open, it feels like.
Schaefer now with it. Wagaman gets a good jump stop. Couldn't quite get the little mid-range to fall. Sioux Central's got a lot of speed. They like to run up and down the floor. We can see that already. Pass to the corner, stays alive. Another extra pass. 15-foot pull-up shot. Christian gets it to go.
Yeah, Morgan Christian, another senior, almost 15 points per contest. The ability to say, I don't need a 3. I'll just step in, take the easy shot. You got to really appreciate it.
That's a nice pass, and Molly Schaefer awards her sister Kate with an assist.
I always appreciate a good dribble down on the low post. See if you can get anybody jumping or moving. Take it up for the easy 2.
It's the kick pass to Krager. Eastlick and Krager know what each other wants to do from the outside, so they're kind of a perfect matchup for guarding each other. A little dribble, the kick out, in and out. Good board from Wildeman, and the second chance basket goes.
We were saying that she was going to be the battle, if you will, against a little bit of height down low. With the 5'11 sophomore for Sioux Center gets the really nice rebound.
Driving in, that shot's altered, and Wildeman was right there once again. Great bench minutes from the sophomore forward. And now a dribble drive results in a foul. Christian, the dribbler, and the foul against Eastlick. Sioux Central, we mentioned it, their only loss to Newell Fonda, and that came all the way back in December.
Yeah.
They've won 19 games in a row, and not in this streak, but they've also beaten Westerville Lincoln Central. You can see why, as Brady Krager's got another 3.
I mean, you live by the 3 and you die by the 3, but for them, their defense is playing really well, and the 3s are hitting tonight.
Right now, they are thriving by the 3 as Sioux Central gets whistled for the harm.
It's a big play. Eastlick's going to go to the line to shoot 3 here for the Rockets.
Yes, she was just in the act of shooting. It's the second made 3 there by Krager.
I'm just so impressed by the start by Sioux Central. I mean, just the ability to come out here and really show no nerves or anything.
First free throw's up and good for Ava Eastlick, who doesn't just shoot from the outside. 61% at the line, 48% from the field. Gets the second of 3.
That's one thing about EBF. Wagamon's the only senior in the starting 5, so, you know, this is big experience, 2 straight years at state, leading forward.
They're able to get more off this miss. Kate Schaefer rims it in and out, but there's Molly, and she'll go to the line for 2 more.
I think the rebounding category can be where the Rockets can really beat up Sioux Central here, and that's exactly what you want, second chance points if you can get them.
She's got the position. She's not boxed out, and then you get the defender on her hip. She can take advantage of it and drains the first. Schaefer went 1 for 2 on her last trip to the line. Dials in the first and connects on the second.
And you'll take it from the charity stripe. I mean, just 2 of 13 from the floor for EBF.
Here's another three and another make. Once again, it's Avery Wilson from downtown.
I mean, how about 4 of 5 so far?
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say so?
I mean, and then you look at EBF and you're like, well, they just can't hit anything. You can't really be too mad at it.
No. And they're getting the looks they want. It's not falling. There's Eastlick. That's a rhythm shot. Just doesn't fall. Rockets and Rebels chase it down. One by Sioux Central. The other way. The basket for Krager. The Rebels have scored 26 in the first quarter. They lead it by a sweet 16 mark after 8 minutes of play here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. We'll come back with our live coverage. The second quarter comes your way next here on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Fans, level up your game at Central College. More than half of Central's students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passions and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. We got the Dutch Red, we got the Rebel Red in attendance. It's a perfect match here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament.
USC rip-off logo there.
There you go.
Just great stuff all over. How about 73%, Daniel, from the floor for Sioux Center? I mean, you couldn't ask for a better first quarter in your first trip to the state tournament. And EBF's got to be thinking, what do we have to do?
Yeah, Sioux Central with 26 points. They barely avoid a travel, but they turn it over
she
anyway.
Let it go.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those you get caught in between decisions. Here's Eastlick kicking out to Kate Schaefer. Rockets go down low. Wagaman trying to work her way in, and she finally scores.
It was only a matter of time. She's gotten too many great looks to just be denied every time, and that time finally put it in the basket.
Sioux Central out to the corner now. Skip pass through the hands and kept alive by Krager. Pass deflected. You can see there's a little pep in the step of the Rockets now after that shot goes in, and maybe this leads into another stop on the defensive end. Pass nearly errant from Peterson.
A couple long passes here for Sioux Central. You can tell the half court's not quite where they want to be.
This one's out. They're running out of time on the shot clock. Just flip it up. And it'll be a shot clock violation. So excellent defense from Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. They had to rotate a few times on the defensive end, but they always got to their spots.
Well, it felt like in the first quarter, when they're switching on defense, whether that be on screens, the switches weren't fast enough, which left Sioux Central wide open for three. That time they've tightened those up.
The Rockets pass it out top and swing it around the horn. The Schaefer connection gets out to Kate. Just trying to find something to work. Right now, Wagaman's being taken over down low. So they'll go to Kate, and her three rattles out. Sioux Central's on the run out. Here come that athletic lineup that the Rebels run out. This is Wildeman going out up top for Christian. The pace of the game's definitely slowed down a bit.
Right. which helps Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. That's exactly what they want to see happen, and it shows here. Under 15 on the shot clock again.
When they don't bring anybody off their bench, they're okay with slow-moving kind of games. And now we got a timeout from Sioux Central. With short time on the shot clock, the Rebels want to talk things over, and with 2 minutes gone here in this quarter. So, yeah, we've gone from a pretty up and down game, Blake. I mean, 26 points in the first quarter to all of a sudden the pace has ground to an incredible halt.
Right. And it's possible, a couple of Sioux Central players may think, okay, we have this lead. We don't need to go as fast. No, that's how you need to play. I mean, that's how it's going to move quick. Dyke New Hartford is awaiting the winner of this game. That's how Dyke New Hartford plays. Yes. They're so quick. We saw it so many times. People thought they were cherry picking because they're so quick down the floor. That's my favorite thing that people say about the Wolverines. But, this is perfect for EBF. It's just ball's got to go in the basket. It's going to start falling here soon. They're just 3 of 16.
And now Sioux Central's got to hurry here a little bit. They got some time, but not much to really horse around out here. Shot clock's already at 5. Right off the inbound, it's Christian. She doesn't get the shot off. It'll be another shot clock violation, the second of the quarter for Sioux Central. Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont has settled in on the defensive end.
And it's got to be so frustrating for Coach Krager because, you drew up a play, you had everything set, and then all of a sudden, no, you just took too much time. You got to be aware of the clock.
So here comes the Rockets. Can they make this one hurt a little bit? Try and cut into that deficit. Off a turnover. There's Wagaman rolling down the lane. Hangs in the air. Can't get the hook. And Sioux Central's got the rebound.
I want her to keep shooting, though, because, they're all been good. It's just unlucky bounces.
Krager steps into a deep one. Just can't get it to fall. A couple of one-and-dones, and now here comes the tempo, pushing up. EBF gets down low. There's Molly Schaefer who scores.
Really nicely done, and I give a ton of credit to Ava Eastlick for keeping her eyes down the floor. She could have slowed it down, but honestly, I think EBF might want to speed up a little bit.
Sioux Central now trying to avoid the playing not to lose here. Once you get down to state and you get a lead and you start panicking because you don't want to give it up. The Rebels float one up in the lane. A little fall away, doesn't go. Good rebound from Christian. She cleaned up her miss. Sioux Central's got a fresh shot clock to work with.
Hey, talk about playing not to lose. I think that's why you see comebacks happen so often at the state tournament. I mean, that's literally the recipe for it.
Here's the turnover. Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont can cut to single digits. They want to, and they won't. Eastlick can't get it to fall. The rebound forced loose. We're going to get another held ball, but the Rockets will keep the possession.
You talk about so many in and out baskets. That's what's happened for the Rockets. Half of these shots are in and out.
And if half of those go in, it's a totally different ball game. Got another substitution here for Sioux Central. Hedley Ayers back into the ball game on an IMT Insurance substitution. Check out IMTINS.com. Learn how you can be worry-free. Go up top quickly, and this is Helm. Looking for their opportunity. Kate Schaefer tried to dump it down, and Christian's right there. Here she comes. Dumps it down low at the last second, and Wildeman's got another bench basket.
That was such a good fake because it looked like she was going to shoot it, and then last second hands it off to Avery.
Caitlin Wildeman, now with 6 points here for Sioux Central off the bench. We talked about it. We've only seen one player come off the bench for Sioux Central, none for Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. Here's Eastlick. Good drive. Dump it under. Molly Schaefer's got her defender shielded. She scores and has a +1 coming.
Again, it's that bounce. You get that bounce down, it can kind of throw off timing of the defender here.
Yeah, and she kind of had a weird shield, too. She shielded her defender to the baseline. Just kind of flipped it over her head. That was Krager who picked up the foul, so that's where I'm interested to see what the strategy is for both coaches once you get into foul trouble. Second for Krager. The free throw's no good. And here come the Rebels with Ayers. There's a three. Wilson. High off the heel and over the glass.
And it's not like both teams tighten up their lineup because of state. You see that a lot in 5A, 4A. Now, this is just how they play. I mean, it's just kind of the style that they go at, and the coaches feel like they have a solid foundation with their starting five.
clearly it has worked.
Yeah,
You've gotten here, one loss apiece. Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont was on a fluke kind of game to Oskaloosa. Coach Fenton was the first to tell you they didn't shoot the ball very well that night. They could easily be undefeated heading here to the state tournament.
Oh, that's a little Hawkeye Conference team. I mean, that's a 4A school that you're going up against that plays against the likes of Dallas Center Grimes, Pella.
DCG's been here at state. Pella was a region finalist. From Sioux Central, quick drive the other way. Christian off the rim, and the Rebels touched it last out of bounds.
I'm really impressed with Morgan Christian at her ability to follow her shot. I think twice or 3 times she's missed, but she was the one to grab her own rebound and just kind of go after it. So,
correct myself. They actually had a foul down there. Now we got a timeout from Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament. 3 minutes to play in the half. Rebels by 12 here on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Fans, level up your game at Central College. More than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passions and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. Blake Walker, Daniel Versteg. I'm Daniel Versteg with you here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. From a 28-10 first quarter, we've seen a combined 8 points here in the last 5 minutes. What do you think's kind of caused that here, Blake?
I mean, I think right now is both teams, it's the rush of the first 5 or the first 8 minutes of the state tournament. And, you know, I hate to say it, it doesn't help these teams have been waiting and sitting at home all day ready to get going.
Schaefer can't flip that one up and in. Sioux Central, they want to turn up the speed, and Krager's ready to race. She scores.
Yeah, just racing back, getting back on offense, getting back on defense.
Dangerous pass, loose ball. Rebels corral it, and Krager got all the way to the other end to pick up that loose ball. Brady Krager with it now. Moves it off at top for Christian. Drives in. Oh, floater, and that's up and in.
That's not easy. No. I mean, and she clearly didn't want to use the backboard, so really nicely done.
Christian, another one of those 1,000 career point scorers here at Sioux Central. 3 ball doesn't fall off the front of the rim from Helm. Good rebound from Kate Schaefer. Dumps it down to Molly. Oh, hang in the air, and the score is good.
Really nice job on the low post by Molly Schaefer. She just understands I don't have to lean into contact. If they're going to hit me, they're going to hit me. Just focus on my shot.
Sioux Central's lead down to 14 here. The Rebels really take care of the ball. Can do some good things. Christian's 3, a little flat on the shot, and Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont, the rebound off the rim. Eastlick wants to run back. It's Kate Schaefer, who's kind of the rebounding aficionado for the Rockets. We've seen that already today. We've seen it all season. It's Molly in the corner. She gets the drive, the kick out, and the swing. Let's peek at the clock. Eastlick wants some motion up top. Schaefer, the open 3, doesn't go. There's an O-board from Wagaman. Didn't hit the rim, goes back up with it. No, second try is good.
Another great effort on the boards. And if you noticed, Sioux Central's not playing up around the three-point line because EBF isn't hitting their threes. They're 1 of 9, so good call by Coach Krager saying, well, if you're not hitting, we're not going to respect you for it for a while.
Yeah, you got to earn that respect here on this court for sure. That's a deep 3 from Krager. Just couldn't get it to fall.
And EBF's
got her head up the other way.
Just kind of hanging around right now.
They dump it down to Kate Schaefer. Got a defender in the air. Couldn't get it to fall. Molly's there. The putback results in a foul. And Molly Schaefer will shoot 2.
Yeah, you got a chance to get this down to 10 here.
You got to feel pretty good about yourself.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a much better second quarter. Really, besides that 9-0 start, if the Rockets lose this game by less than 9, you're going to be like, oh, man, that first 4 minutes is just tough.
Presley Peterson back into the ball game. And a substitution brought to you by IMT Insurance, the state champion in the shuttle hurdle last year. Free throw's good as well from Molly Schaefer. Perfect trip. 10-point ball game with the shot clock remaining.
I think multi-sport athletes are great.
Oh,
I mean, it's so cool when you can play one sport, go to state, to another sport, and be like, well, hey, I was also here for this sport. It's just so awesome.
And the best part is seeing some of these girls at state who basketball is kind of their other sport.
Yeah.
And they still
But
have
then you're like,
success.
well, you're so good. Why? How? What? I look at Dyke Hartford. I'm like, how is that possible?
You mean you're better at
Yeah,
other
what are
sports?
you saying?
I don't understand. This is a deflected ball. Rockets can cut it to single digits. Got to go quickly. Ball deflected out. Will stay with EBF.
That's probably the best scenario because now you can just work on your inbound play here under the basket. And I mean, you got a chance to cut it within 8.
And instead of being all helter-skelter and quick the other way, you can get a set. Maybe cut it down to 7 if you get the right look. It's Kate Schaefer to inbound. Finds Helm. Wagaman, the kick out, the 3 at the horn doesn't fall.
That's a good play.
We've hit halftime. Sioux Central, their first state tournament appearance in a century or more. That's a 10-point lead here over Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. Let's take a break here on the Girls Union Digital Network. We'll come back, get you some halftime analysis. We'll also have some words from our title sponsor, the Iowa Farm Bureau. You're watching the Girls State Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Slate's the place for you!
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Back here to the Girls State Basketball Tournament. It's the Baxter Bolts dance team that is currently entertaining us here at halftime. Basketball game's been entertaining with Blake Walker, Daniel Versteg with you. It's a 10-point Sioux Central lead, 32-22. And Blake, we've kind of run the gamut of basketball to this point. We've had the quick game, we've had the slow game, inside, outside. It's just kind of who can survive these runs the most heading into the second half.
It was a tale of 2 quarters, honestly. 26 points for Sioux Central in the first, only 6 in the second. And, you know, you look at the shooting percentages, only 56% for Sioux Central. So something to kind of keep an eye out on. But EBF looks like they've calmed down a little bit, and Sioux Central looks like they're a little bit antsy again.
Yes.
So, you know, you calm down a little bit. It's only a 10-point game. You can reset.
Should be an interesting second half. And before we get to the second half, We'd like to take a moment to once again thank our title sponsor. That's Iowa Farm Bureau for their support of the state basketball tournament. Earlier this week, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union had the opportunity to speak with the Iowa Farm Bureau and President Brent Johnson to learn more about the Farm Bureau's support of the IGHSAU and student athletes across the state.
Thanks for joining us for the 2024 Girls State Basketball Tournament. I'm Matt Hominoff with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We want to thank all of our partners for all the great support we get from around the state. None more important than our proud title sponsor, Iowa Farm Bureau. With me today is the president of the Iowa Farm Bureau, Brent Johnson. Thanks for joining us, Brent. Yep. Why does the Iowa Farm Bureau feel so strongly about supporting the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and our tournament games?
Well, Matt, the Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor for the Girls Union now for 19 years. And once again, very proud to be a part of this year's state girls basketball tournament. And, you know, this tournament highlights the work ethic, teamwork, resilience, and dedication that these girls have contributed for a year's worth of dedication to their craft. And just like that same spirit, the Iowa farmers are the best in what they do across this entire country, not only in production, but also in conservation. And you put all that together, and there's a lot here to celebrate.
Yeah. Your support for the IGHSAU goes beyond youth and education. What other support does the Iowa Farm Bureau provide Iowa's youth?
Yeah. Well, Matt, here at Farm Bureau, we believe that today's youth is tomorrow's leaders, and we're proud to support them in many different ways. One of those is by our scholarship program. Every single year, we give nearly $500,000 across the entire state to those kids so that they can continue their education at a higher level. We've also partnered with the Girls Union and the Boys Association now for several years to offer concussion insurance for those student athletes who compete in sanctioned sports across the entire state so that they can do so at a high level and feel safe doing so. And that is at no cost to that student or their families. Third, we've given teachers across the state nearly $500,000 so that they can properly equip their classrooms to do their jobs better. And most recently, just last year, the Iowa Farm Bureau gave the Iowa FFA Foundation $1 million so that they can properly place ag teachers and ensure that students across the state have an exposure to agriculture and how it affects their lives every day.
Yeah, so the students participating in this year's tournament are taking home some pretty neat souvenirs. But one new item that they're taking home are the championship ball caps. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. You know, the girls who are competing at this year's tournament are actually taking home quite a bit of swag this year. Of course, we have the bag tags and the signature basketballs that the girls have been used to seeing over the years. But this year, we've added a championship ball cap so that those girls who actually win the tournament have an extra souvenir to remember that if they put their minds to it, they can accomplish anything.
Well, thanks again, Brent, for both your and everyone at Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the Iowa Girl over the years.
In Iowa, we grow corn. A lot of corn. Corn is what supports us. It feeds our livestock, it fuels our vehicles, and powers our state. It nourishes our families. A cash crop? Yeah, but it's way more than that. Corn sustains us. It's who we are. Without it, we'd just be... well, you get the picture. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
The thing I love about Clark is that you're never just one thing. I'm not just a student. I'm a future doctor. I'm an athlete on a history-making team. I'm a community member supporting the causes I care about. I'm a friend, a neighbor, a leader. At Clark, you can become anything. What will you be? Be you at CU.
Hey fans, official state tournament merchandise is now available online. It's time to get your smartphones out. You can scan the QR code on the bottom left of your screen now, or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise for the state basketball tournament to match your style. Alongside Blake Walker, Daniel Versteg with you. Sioux Central a 32-22 lead at the halftime break of this Class 2A state quarterfinal. Let's take a look at some of the stats presented by Sioux Cup. And, well, it's kind of tough to let these stats tell the whole story, Blake, because like you said, it was a tale of two quarters. But right now, Sioux Central's doing a lot of good things to keep themselves out in front. You shoot 56% from the field. You're doing some things right, and you score off turnovers. You're gonna win a lot of ball games.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't want to say you can win a game in a quarter, but in this case, it's very possible that one quarter could win Sioux Central the game here. But second quarter, not so great. Only 30% shooting when they shot 73 in that first for Sioux Central. EBF played better. I think you look at the difference, 12 points. Not still only scored 10 in the first, but it's still an improvement. They're starting to figure a couple things out. Just got to get the ball to your playmakers, and their rebounding hasn't been that bad either. You look at that, 18 rebounds and 10 offensive rebounds. It's bigger when they have better offenses than they do defenses.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately kind of the story of the game for EBF. You shoot 25% from the field, you get 10 offensive rebounds, and you only get 8 second chance points off of that. You're getting the shots, obviously. They're getting to the hoop. You're getting an opportunity for the putback. It's just somebody install the lid on that hoop over there.
And I know I said play in the half-court set, only 2 fast break points. And then you look at it, 10 fast break points for Sioux Central. So it's just going to have to be one of those things that you kind of have to slow down. Don't turn the ball over. Sioux Central actually has more turnovers. So you just got to kind of figure a couple things out. And EBF's playing from behind. So
we'll see how things shake out in the second half of play. Again, it's Sioux Central leading Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont a score of 32-22. Take one final break, and we'll get those final 16 minutes started from Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines. You're watching the Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, it's the 2024 Girls State Basketball Tournament, the 7th and final game of this Tuesday with Blake Walker, Daniel Versteg with you. Sioux Central off to a great start. They lead it 32-22. The key to continue that momentum in the second half, what do you think that is here, Blake?
I think you just got to keep hitting the glass. I think you really got to get down low, and you got to keep taking those shots. They haven't seemed to steer away from it. I know they're 1 of 11 from the three-point line, but you can't just abandon the three-point shot because if they're going to start hitting here eventually, Eastlick's going to have to really keep going here a little bit. She's, not had that bad of a game so far. Molly Schaefer, 13 points. Yes. I mean, working hard. Follow your shots. You're going to be okay.
Yeah, Molly Schaefer has been kind of the lone bright spot here for Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont in the first half. She's gotten the free throw line 7 times. She's hit over 50% of her shots. Could use a little bit more consistent help here in the second half. It'll be Sioux Central basketball to get things started in half number 2 and quarter number 3 for the Girls State Basketball Tournament. Sioux Central starts it by going down low quickly. Avery Wilson can't get the turnaround jumper.
Another thing, Sioux Central did not shoot a free throw that entire first half. So, if it gets to a point where shots aren't falling, try to get to the basket and try to draw contact.
Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont works it around the perimeter. Settle it up top, and Molly Schaefer goes to work. And kicks it out.
And you see, besides Eastlick, they are laying way back on everybody when they're beyond the three-point line.
Kind of daring them, just egging them on to shoot from the outside.
I mean, statistically, you might as well.
Shot clock's low. This pass gets tied up. It'll be a held ball. The Rockets keep it, but they've only got 1 second left. So you don't even have time for a dribble, I don't think. That was late into 1 second as well, so it might be less than a second. Inbound, quick shot. Off in time, doesn't go. Wagaman there for the follow. It danced in and out again. Cates there for the third try. It finally goes for the Rockets.
How about that? 12 offensive rebounds. And now, Daniel, we're getting close here. 8-point game.
Yeah, this is as close as it's been since it was the start of the game. A 9-0 start for Sioux Central. Hasn't been closer than that since now.
16-point lead at one point.
Yeah, Sioux Central got up 16 to end the first quarter.
26-10, I think, was the score, and it was just everyone's like, well, that was fun.
I'm still mind blown by 26 points in the first quarter.
You just don't see that here at the state tournament.
I guess it makes sense that them and Newell Fonda are in the same conference because Newell Fonda is the only other team I've seen do something like that down here. As the Rebels turn it over. Big turnover here, and Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont's got a chance to really cut into this deficit now.
Already 8 turnovers for the Rebels.
But the Rockets have not capitalized on them. They've only scored a couple points off turnovers. Pass down low, deflected out. Trying to find Molly Schaefer, which is what you were talking about at the half. You got to keep going down low because that's a player that you can rely on.
And Fenton, Coach Fenton, I mean, clearly maybe he thinks too. Maybe we don't need threes.
Wagaman inside, double clutches and scores. And now it's a half a dozen.
I think her confidence is built up here as the game's gone on as well. She struggled to start. Now the buckets are starting to fall.
6 points, 7 boards for Wagaman. The drive under, dish out. Straightaway look from Kragers, thinks better of it.
Shots aren't as open as they were previously.
No, EBF is all over the court right now. The drive and dish. Wilson for 3, you betcha.
It's a tough shot. You had one defender close it in. Huge shot.
What a shot from Wilson. He's now got 11. And the Rockets have to answer. What a front side post move from Christian to take away the pass. Krager running behind the defense. Can't get to fall. Wilson can't clean up the mess. And the Rockets survive that possession.
Yeah, and I was just about to say if they made that. Well, that's exactly what got Sioux Central their lead early in that game, or early here in the first quarter.
There's a quick 3. Rockets trying to go from outside. Wagaman there for another board.
And she is working hard. 8 rebounds, 8 points.
That's the kind of effort you need here at the girls' state basketball tournament. Elia Wagaman doing it all here for Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. Rebels needing an answer. They're up a touchdown. That lead is closing quickly. Krager thought about it. Thought better of it, though.
Long into the shot clock again.
Yeah, down to single digits. Christian down low. There's Peterson getting on the board for the Rebels.
That's a really nice fake, really nice awareness. Go down instead of taking the shot.
Lob under. Molly Schaefer catches and scores. And gives proper credit to Ava Eastlick on the way back.
Our pace is picked back up.
Yeah, much quicker than it was for a while there. Sioux Central has wanted to slow it down a little bit, so I think we know who the culprit was in quarter number 2. The Rebels are using a lot of the shot clock. EBF's wanting to work quickly. The Sioux Central's looking for their shot. Primo A1 shot here in this possession. They get it into Christian, and she gets fouled on the way up. So that's the first set of free throws for Sioux Central.
And I don't hate it. I mean, it's a 2-3 zone, so if you got to attack it, you got to either attack it or shoot around it. And that time, I think it was probably talked about by Coach Krager. You got to just attack it and try to get to the free throw line.
Yeah, right to Wagaman, who draws the foul. And Christian knocks home the first.
If anything, EBF's the team that doesn't want to be at the line. Only 58% as a team, and Sioux Central 69% as a team, almost 70. So.
Quick IMT insurance substitution. They bring in Caitlin Wildeman, who is the tallest player for Sioux Central at 5'11", can handle the ball well for a post player as well. They got a foul off the rebound. Avery Wilson gets shoved out of bounds and foul against the Rockets. They got Molly Schaefer for the foul. It's team foul number 3, the first for Schaefer. So
yeah, they've been fine in terms of fouls.
This quick jumper doesn't go, and a nice stop after all from Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont.
And the thing, only playing 5 girls for EBF, it's hard enough to come back. It's hard enough to come back when you're tired and if you don't play a bench. So it's something to keep an eye out on.
Thankfully, at this point, I hope they're a little well-conditioned. Yeah. But even still, at 32 minutes is a long time to be on the floor.
It's surprising that they haven't done any subs. But
right. Yeah, not a single player off the bench yet for the Rockets. Just one for Sioux Central.
Yeah.
Wagaman down low. Left block, Schaefer, turnaround. Doesn't go. Then some friendly fire on the rebound. Wagaman gets fouled on the putback.
I was going to say, I was wondering if they were going to call a jump ball between teammates.
Thankfully, the officials saw that and kept the whistle away. See Tony Fenton, 23rd-year head coach of Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. Second trip to state in a row. Second time they've had to face a Twin Lakes Conference opponent. We've talked about the matchup with Pocahontas area last year. Couldn't quite get over that hump. Pocahontas area, very well-seasoned team here at state. Wagaman goes 0 for 2 at the line.
That's tough.
Cut it down to 6. Instead, it remains 8. Rebels can get back up double digits, and they'll try to. Can't quite succeed. Rebound from Kate Schaefer, who had a monster dozen rebounds against North Mahaska in the region final. Takeaway, score the other way for Morgan Christian. Timeout from Casey Krager and Sioux Central. Rebels up 10 at the girls' state basketball tournament. So a really nice come around here from Sioux Central. Their defense settling in. It's turning into offense the other way, and now I think they're probably going to start going back to speeding up the tempo a little bit because they've proven it can work again.
Right. And I thought Krager was calling the timeout just because the half-court set hasn't been their thing, and that's exactly what you mean. I mean, if you can speed it up a little bit. And that time for the Rebels, they had 3 girls under the basket ready to rebound that. Schaefer got away, makes a long pass. But in that case, EBF likes slowing it down. They weren't trying to slow it down. So I think it's one thing for Coach Fenton to talk to his team. We got to pick and choose. We can't go fast and we can't go slow. You got to pick what you want to do. And when you're trailing, you're only down by 10. So pick and choose your poison.
You're right there. Both teams like to, at some point, speed up the tempo. And 10 points in a quickly moving game, it's not much.
Right.
10 points in a game like we had in the second quarter, that's a lot of points. So we'll see what kind of game we get for the final 11 minutes.
And it depends on a team. If Dyke New Hartford was down here by 10, you'd be like, okay, you can play a certain way. But when it's EBF, you're like, well, that's tough.
That's a 10-second backcourt violation. People will say, well, the ball was in half court.
Ball has to be touched
by a teammate
to
avoid the 10-second backcourt violation. Sioux Central, big turnover.
That's a great call, and that's one of the things I've noticed this week with the shot clock, and I've noticed it all season, but the shot clock makes it very easy for these officials.
Right.
If it gets down to 25 seconds and you're not across the timeline, it's turnover.
Yeah, there's no math involved.
No.
You just look at the shot clock. You can tell pretty quickly.
No Mississippis, it's easy.
Hand counts, arm extensions. Sioux Central keeps this possession alive. They are slowing down the tempo a little bit again. Shot clock down under 15. There's a kick and a 3 from Krager. Doesn't go. Way off the mark. Rebound, ripped around, and a held ball is called. Possession sticks with Sioux Central.
Well, that same thing, just as I said. 3 girls are sitting there. So if you grab that rebound, that's great. But we're still going to fight you for the basketball.
Yeah, Helm basically needs to get that rebound out of her hands right away to a teammate. Otherwise, that's what's going to happen every time.
You don't see it in girls a lot of tip-out rebounds. You see it a lot in boys basketball. But
reverse layup. Doesn't quite go. There's another whole board and a putback for Morgan Christian.
Morgan, that's her 5th rebound of the game. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 9 points. All-around player here tonight for Sioux Central.
Yeah, we've seen that against Pocahontas area. She had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals, go along with 15 points. It's a pretty good day at the office.
We've had a couple girls flirt with triple-doubles today.
We have. Not quite been able to get
it,
but really close. That's a 3. Molly Schaefer right at the arc. And that's a big long ball for Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont.
Yeah, just the second one made tonight, and you never know. If you see it go in, it might help you out just a little bit more. Now they might guard her up a little bit more.
Back to single digits as well. Wildeman off the dribble, and she gets fouled on the dish. That was a great pass.
Yeah.
But the foul will bail out the Rockets just for the moment.
That was going to be perfectly set up to Avery Wilson.
And right at the arc there from Molly Schaefer. I thought her foot was on the line at the initial look, but she was well beyond it.
It's good to have one single three-point line this year. That's the huge plus of this court, and I'm sure the girls love it too.
Yeah, you'd watch girls pull up from the NBA lines. It'd take a couple steps in, yeah. Going to get a foul and a couple of shots coming for Sioux Central, and now the Rockets have also put the Rebels in the bonus here for the remainder of this third quarter.
We haven't really seen the bonus in 1 through 3 quarters this week, last 2 days. It just feels like it's been all fourth quarter, but.
Of course, if you've been living under a rock and haven't watched a high school basketball game this season, first of all, welcome.
Yep.
And second of all, of course, the new rule, the fouls are counted by quarter and not by half. There is no single bonus. There's no 1-and-1s anymore. 5 team fouls in a quarter means you shoot 2 free throws. And Sioux Central takes advantage of it. Perfect trip to the line for Brady Krager, the 2-time first-team All-Twin Lakes Conference. I'm sure that'll be 3-time once this season comes to an end. Kick-out pass coming our way. Kate Schaefer flags it down. Keeps the possession alive for the Rockets. Under 90 seconds here in the third. Eastlick doesn't get the look she wants. Out for a 3 from Helm. There it goes down. Rockets starting to dial it in from long range.
Yeah, and, that's just good rotation. Looked kind of like a dead possession here at the top of the key, and they eventually found somebody open.
Sioux Central's lead down to 8. As we get to 60 seconds to play in the third. There's a good backdoor look. The layup doesn't fall. Wildeman cleans it up, gets tied up. Possession to the Rockets.
That was a really nice job. I know it seemed like she pulled her down, but she's not. She's just going after the basketball. Take a look at that open 3.
Great reversal. And a kind of a rare Kaylee Helm 3. She had a big night from the three-point arc against North Mahaska, but
a little bit of a press here.
Sioux Central's trying to maybe get back up by double digits with a takeaway, but Eastlick dribbles it up herself.
And they want to see EBF run, not just for fatigue, but, it's just completely opposite from how they want to play.
Kate Schaefer, handoff. Eastlick, the step-back move. Doesn't get the 3 to fall. Sioux Central's got a big board.
Oh, that would have been a huge shot.
Rebels, that pass deflected, out to the wing, kept alive, and off of Sioux Central. It is Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont basketball.
I don't know what he was pointing at. For some reason, I thought maybe it hit a bench player, and then the ref was pointing at something.
He was pointing one way at first. Yeah. Rockets keep it, and here comes Eastlick. They go quickly. They can take their time if they want. Dish it across the lane. It goes wide of 2 targets. Rebels get it back.
That's 2 back-to-back possessions for EBF. You had great chances, just can't quite close it.
Yeah, neither team seems to want the last shot of this quarter. They keep turning it over. See if Sioux Central will end up with it. Christian lets it roll for just a little bit and now picks it up. Sizing things up with under 10 to play. And an illegal screen called. They get Caitlin Wildeman. So Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont will get a look at the last shot. That's Wildeman off the bench, who's been a huge post-bench player.
The lone bench player.
The lone bench player of the game. She checks out with the foul. And Hadley Ayers in an IMT insurance substitution. Eastlick gets the inbound. Up the sideline. Had enough space. Passed it away. And now Krager tries to give it off. The 3 was evidently off in time, but missed. And after 3 quarters, it's Sioux Central 44, Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont 36. Should be a fun fourth quarter. We hope you stick around for it. Here on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy. Obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Frank, when you think fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
The Iowa Bankers Association is a proud sponsor of the Parade of Champions and the Iowa Student Achievement Award. We thank them for their sponsorship of this girls' state basketball tournament. Alongside Blake Walker, Daniel Versteg with you. Fourth quarter underway here at the girls' state basketball tournament. Sioux Central got off to a 16-point lead in the first quarter. It's been slowly chipped at. There's a big shot block from Cade Schaefer. And the Rockets have a chance to cut it down to 8. Brady Krager deflects it to the end line. Can't keep it alive.
Yeah, I hope nobody turned it off when it was 26-10 and went to bed, because, I mean, it's just very impressive. EBF's been able to crawl back into this thing. Take a look at this block.
Oh, man, she's all over it. And then kept it alive. I mean, that was the most impressive part. The shot block's one thing, but to keep that ball in play, Kate Schaefer does a great job. That's a block and a rebound, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's a good stat stuffer. Eastlick trying to cut into this deficit. She hasn't been able to do much from the outside. Sioux Central definitely read the scouting report. Molly Schaefer down to Kate. On the left block, she flips it up and in.
Just smart, so patient, waiting for it to develop.
It is a 6-point game all of a sudden. Here come the Rebels trying to keep the Rockets at arm's length. Out top, that's a three, and it hardly moves the net. Avery Wilson dials it in again.
I mean, those are tough. I mean, she shot that thing right over top of the defender. It's not like it was an offline shot.
The Rebels have always had an answer here tonight. They got another one there. Helm can't find Wagaman. Initially, loose ball picked up by the Rebels. They want to run. They've got the movement with Ayers. She has to stop. Christian, great pass to Wilson and a recovery by Eastlick. Rejection from probably the shortest player on the floor at Ava Eastlick at 5'4". She's being double teamed. What a respectful defensive effort.
For being one of 6, yeah, that's.
Here's the three from Helm. Can't get it to fall. Rebound off. Sioux Central stays with the Rockets.
And Helm's just short on him. She's only a 28% three-point shooter, but one of them's going to drop in here in a second.
She's gotten one to fall, so evidently knows what it takes to make one down here. Rockets inbound. Helm thought about another one. Drives in set. Eastlick. You betcha. What a massive shot from Ava Eastlick. You give her that much space. Yeah, that's going in.
Things have slowed down just a little bit, and that's what the Rebels don't want to see here.
Does Sioux Central have another answer in them? It hasn't been closer than 6 here for a long time. They don't get that one to go. Christian missed off the backside.
Well, they attack the zone. I mean, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to go at the zone.
Pass up top. Kate Schaefer. She can cut it in half if she wants to. She drives instead. Ball poked loose and a foul whistled against Peterson. See how the foul game plays itself out here in the fourth quarter. Of course, with the rules we mentioned again, you get 5 fouls you got to accrue in a quarter before bonus territory. We've got a substitution, and we're going to get a timeout with it as well. Of course, substitutions brought to you by IMT Insurance. And we will take the timeout as well. Sioux Central's lead is 6. Rockets close to cutting into it. We'll have more after this on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
With Blake Walker, Daniel Versteeg with you. Happy to be bringing you this Girls State Basketball Tournament contest on the Girls Union Digital Network, and we're glad you stuck it out with us. We know it is getting kind of late here, but the fans are enjoying it. You're enjoying it. We hope you are anyway, and you should be, because right now Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont's got a great chance here, Blake. It's not been as close as 6 points in quite a while. They've got a chance to cut it closer.
And it's so crazy because at the end of the first quarter, Sioux Central was shooting 73%. Yeah. They're down to 46%. EBF was shooting 18%. They're up to 35%. It's just crazy how this game has shifted here.
Total change in the outlook. Down low, a pass thrown wide, and that's a blown opportunity for the Rockets. Talked about the answers Sioux Central has had. Do they have another one here? Peterson.
Don't forget the first 2 minutes in this game when it was 9-0.
Yes.
I always keep going back to that, and I keep thinking about it because, man, that might have been the game right there.
Yeah, it'd be a lot closer. It'd be a much different game right now. Out to Krager. Rebels taking down that clock. It's down to 10. It's Wildeman. Threw it through the legs of Peterson. Now it's just 3. Christian puts it up. Can't get it to go. Rockets get the stop.
Much better job securing the rebounds here for Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. Not letting them get to it.
Skip pass. And down to Eastlake. It's kind of a stagnant possession. Not much going. Wagaman all alone. Out to Eastlake. Got some space. Can't make the 3. And Wilson gets ahead of steam the other way. And Eastlake saves the open layup, poking it out of bounds.
Boy, Wilson's got some speed onto her. Really nicely done.
Wilson, look at that, how quick she was able to get past 2 quick players of their own in Eastlake and Helm.
It's like you said, though, every time there's been a response for Sioux Central, and it's just kind of worked in their favor.
A foul right off the inbound. Kaylee Helm, the junior, picks up the foul.
So you got 3 fouls on, let's see. Nope, everybody's good on fouls. I was looking at Sioux Central. So that's another thing. For 5 players, EBF has done a really good job not getting into foul trouble.
They play such a clean brand of basketball. I'm so impressed. But now we're under 4 minutes to go here in the game.
Oh.
And this is a close closeout. Molly Schaefer knew she was in the wrong there. She even said she's sorry. She did not mean to jump into Caitlin Wildeman there, that's for sure. And that's, one of the other great traits of the Iowa girl, the sportsmanship.
That's awesome.
The care for your neighbor. It's great. It's passed down low. It's swatted. And Kate Schaefer comes up with the takeaway. So again, the Rockets have a chance to cut it down in half, but now we got a timeout from Tony Fenton. The clock to get across half court was winding down. Tony Fenton wants to talk it over quickly. Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont has been at this 6-point margin a lot in the second half. They got to get over the hump, and they've gotten the 3-point shot to fall to get them to this point. You think they need to go back inside and get their post work?
Yeah. I don't think they're going to win it from beyond the 3-point line. As much as they would love to, because it's the easy way, I feel like you got to get it down in the post. You got to keep rebounding. It doesn't help. This is the lowest scoring quarter we've seen so far. I mean, just 3 points for Sioux Central, just 5 points for Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. So in a quarter that you needed points, it's kind of slowed down a little bit. But a ton of credit to the Rockets, ton of credit to Coach Fenton. They could have been down and out of this thing when they were down 16 in the first, and they've just really tried to rally back.
Getting close, but they've not been closer. Their rally has kind of hit a snag here at about 6 points. Kate Schaefer's looking in for Eastlake, their best ball handler. They throw it in the backcourt. Kaylee Helm couldn't keep it alive. Turnover for the Rockets. Rebels get it back.
It's another one of those blown opportunities. It just feels like they've added up here late, and it's starting to hurt them a little bit more.
Casey Krager leading Sioux Central to its first ever state tournament appearance. The last time They played a video in between one of the quarters. There's 8 communities that make up the Sioux Central Community School District. One of them, well, Sioux Rapids, that's the main one. 1929, before the Girls Union sponsored the state tournament. Lynn Grove in 1920. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only state tournament appearances for these communities. And, of course, none as
And
Sioux Central.
Credit to the PTO board or whoever it was back in the 1930s or 20s that said, we don't need an acronym. Let's just make it Sioux Central.
Oh, my gosh. 8 schools?
Oh, my gosh.
How would you fit that? Here's a 3. Oh, and we got a wedgie.
That's the second time in 2 days.
And so close from Caitlin Wildeman. We're going to need some help. Yeah, you have enough. Oh, there we go. Now we don't need some help. Nice play from Kate Schaefer. And some dap up from the officials as well. Of course, it is a jump ball.
Yeah.
And so the Rockets get the possession.
Yeah, that works out.
We'll take it. Yeah,
Let the volleyball player figure it out.
Yeah, of course.
I was going to say, the net's shorter than that.
I was going to say, the net's 9.5 feet, something like that. You can get that. You got to reach over the net to spike the ball anyway. Good save by Eastlick. Here comes Molly Schaefer. Finds Helm. Can't get it to Wagaman. What a great save from Molly. Good footwork.
Just dangerous passes.
Oh, there's a 3. Helm missed it too much. And Sioux Central's the rebound again. Still a 6-point lead for the Rebels. Rockets have not been able to get any closer. And they dump it under. Back it out. And they're going to settle this possession down. Now Sioux Central can really, run the clock down if they want to. Got to take care of the ball, though. Eastlick takes it, runs with it. She can't get the layup to go. Kate Schaefer kept it alive, falls to the floor, and was fouled.
Oh.
They're going to say Presley Peterson aided her descent to the ground.
Yeah.
And is called for the foul.
I think that's the right call.
I think so, too.
She grabbed the rebound, and then you don't just lose your balance like that.
Right. So the Rockets are still down 6. Can they get it closer? They go inside to Wagaman. The mid-range is nothing but net. And finally, it's a 4-point game.
Whittling away, just kind of jawing back.
Strap in, folks. We're going to have some fun here.
It's the loudest it's been all night.
Absolutely. Both sides standing here at Wells Fargo Arena. Shot clock's winding down. Krager turns it over. What a takeaway. Helm brings it up to Eastlick.
Now this is where your half court's been really good to you. You don't have to hurry up here. You got plenty of time.
Wagaman's got positioning, but they don't find her. Trying for some movement. Wagaman out up top. She wants the 3.
Oh.
It doesn't go. And Wildeman tracks down a big defensive rebound.
She hasn't made a 3 all season, but
and has only attempted 3 now. Here's Wilson with the answer.
Wow. How about that? Nicely done by Wilson. 35% three-point shooter, didn't matter.
Rockets nearly turn it over. It goes off Krager. Stays with the Rockets, who now trail by 7 once again.
Boy, just heads-up play. No hesitation. What shot clock?
Ice cold water running through her veins. Here come the Rockets. Do they have another big basket in them like Wagaman had from the mid-range? Kate Schaefer from the outside, and the Rockets respond. And a timeout from Tony Fenton. 4-point game, 64 seconds to go. Might as well stick with us. We'll come back and have more outstanding girls state basketball action on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You're looking live at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, the site of what we expect will be a really fun finish with Blake Walker, Daniel Versteeg with you. Sioux Central's lead was 16 at the end of the first, start of the second. Slowly but surely.
First
quarter. Yeah, that's right. Slowly but surely, it has been whittled down to 4 here for Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. We've now started to see them get comfortable from the outside.
Yeah, and like I told you while we were break, I think it came to the point where you're like, we get it. You're not going to guard us, so we might as well just shoot it. I mean, you know, you've struggled. You're 5 of 21, but just take the shots.
Press on here for Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. Sioux Central gets the inbound clean. That's the least of their concerns, though. They throw it away in the backcourt, and the Rockets are fired up.
And I was just about to say, that's interesting considering how good they are in transition, but clearly that didn't matter.
So it's a 4-point game. Oh, the substitution didn't get there in time. Molly Schaefer drives, flips it up, and is fouled on the floor. No free throws. It'll stay with the Rockets, though.
It's third foul on Sioux Central here.
We got Krager, and that's her third. So that's the first player on either side to pick up 3 fouls. And now Wildeman goes to the bench. She will check in for an IMT insurance substitution. For now, you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Rockets trying to inbound. Kate Schaefer finds her sister Molly.
Don't need a 3.
They'll take one, though. Miss Strong. There's an O board. Kate Schaefer back up and is fouled. She'll shoot 2. If the 3 leads to an O board, I guess that's a good shot. Yeah. Kate Schaefer's at the line, just a 58% free throw shooter for the Rockets. Boy, that is the player you want down low on the block.
Oh,
she rebounds the ball like there's no tomorrow. Just misses the first.
Now, if she makes 1, you don't have to foul.
No.
You could just play this out normally. I mean, you have fouls to give if you want, but
that's the thing. They need to foul 3 times to get Sioux Central on the line. The second misses, and a foul. On the rebound, Molly Schaefer gets called for leveraging her position up over the defender.
Still going to press here.
Yes. Yeah. Try and force a takeaway. Haven't seen the press all day. Sioux Central gets it in. It's Wilson. She throws it up. Christian has broken the press. And now lobs it up. It got deflected out by Molly Schaefer. That saved the Rebels.
I was going to say, because you didn't need to do that.
Oh.
I mean, they could have just waited, but, ooh, they got saved there.
Rebels keep the possession, and now the Rockets have 1 foul to give. To let the shot clock go down, you're down 4 then.
Yeah.
In a short time, that's really tough. A takeaway would be wonderful.
I'm sure you just love a shot, help yourself out. But.
Yeah. Rebels are saying, hey, this shot clock, we're okay with a shot clock violation at this point.
Got to watch 5 seconds here. Got to keep moving.
Keep moving. Christian's doing a good job of it. Here in the corner, double teams there. They throw it out, and there's a foul. It is the 4th team foul. Got Ayers up along the nose. So now the shot clock's off. So now you're stuck. You have to foul if you're Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. And it must be something with the Schaefer twins, because Kate Schaefer says, I did not mean to hit Ayers up in the face there. And now we'll get this.
They're checking her nose.
Yeah, they're making sure she's not bleeding.
bleeding.
Yep, looks like she's all right to go.
Sioux Central is 70% free throw shooting team, so that helps.
Rockets need a takeaway, and everything's covered up well. Yeah. Casey Krager called a quick timeout. That's the right call there. 29 seconds to go. Still a 4-point Rebel lead. We'll have more of this thrilling 2A quarterfinal when we come back. Hope you will as well here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
From the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, you see some of the Rebel fans getting rowdy here. Sioux Central.
I wish I had that kid's coat, because I'm afraid to go outside after this.
It's going to be chilly. And that's a pretty true statement, blanket statement, wherever you are in this great state of ours. If you're outside the state, I can't help you, but we've had quite the drop-off in temperature. We went from 70 and sunny, gorgeous yesterday to a good start to the day. It was about 60, 70 this morning. Now I've seen it's down to about 25, maybe less than 20 at this point. So, yeah, we'll need to bundle up when we go outside, but hopefully that's not for a while yet. We've got a great finish of this state quarterfinal. See who's going to play Dyke New Hartford. Sioux Central gets it in. Double team trap is there. Wilson passed it out of there. Now they foul Morgan Christian. That's not a bad player to foul if you're Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. Christian, just a 61% free throw shooter. Molly Schaefer picks up her 4th.
Yeah, and EBF has still not subbed a single player out all game long. This is all 5 players have stayed on the floor every minute.
First one's good. Christian knocks it down. 5-point Rebel lead. The look of anticipation everywhere. Can cut the tension with a knife. Free throw doesn't go. Second one misses. Each team with 1 timeout to utilize. Eastlick takes it up. Spins out. Molly Schaefer. Skip pass. Down low. 12-footer. Missed. Log him in there. The putback goes. Timeout EBF. 9 seconds left. 3-point Rebel advantage. And this one could get interesting. Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont's going to need a takeaway or a lot of help at the free throw line. Come back and see how it goes here on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont has cut it to a 1-score game for the first time tonight since it was 3-0 right out of the get-go. With Blake Walker, Daniel Versteg with you. There's only 1 timeout left. Sioux Central's going to save that for a 5-second call, I would presume, to avoid it. Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont, you got to get a takeaway. Otherwise, you got to hope Sioux Central can't make their free throws.
Yeah, and that's pretty much your best bet here because Sioux Central, pretty good free throw shooting team. Even then, it's hard to go the length of the floor.
Right.
We've seen really no girl been able to even put up half-court shots late in the going.
Sioux Central can run the baseline, and they take advantage of it. Morgan Christian runs up floor, and Eastlick fouls her. That took about a 1.5 seconds off the clock.
A lot of people forget that whole baseline thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting rule. I like it.
I love it.
I don't think in high school you can do the transition thing like they do in college yet. I don't know if that's a rule yet, but yeah, they're sure. Everybody's getting fancy. I've seen football plays run on the baseline.
First one misses.
Now, I'm going to say this. If you're Sioux Central and you miss this, do you foul? Do you try to get them into the bonus?
Yeah, the next foul would put EBF into the bonus. Limit them to 2. Second, that goes. 4-point game.
Got to go quick.
Rockets need a quick shot. You can't even think about it. Yeah. Eastlick. Over to Helm. Out to Molly Schaefer. The step back 3 won't go. And we're going to party like it's the 1920s. Sioux Central, in their first trip at state in over 100 years, they defeat Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont 52-48. The Rebels will take on Dyke New Hartford Friday morning in the Class 2A state semifinals.
Great game. Great effort by EBF. Sioux Central, that 9-0 run to start the game, I think that was the big difference maker. That first quarter was huge. And, just give all the credit in the world to EBF. Tough way to end it, but how about that? First trip to state in forever, and you make the most out of it.
It's awesome. I love when a community can do something like this. It hurts for one, Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. This is just their second trip to state in a row and second since the 1960s. Tough way to go. Sioux Central on to play Dyke New Hartford. Let's go down to public address announcer Tim Fitzpatrick for our post-game presentation.
Provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU, our Executive Director, Gene Berger, and Basketball Administrator, Gary Ross. Congratulations to Head Coach Tony Fennon and the Rockets of Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Morgan Christian will advance their team to the next round on the official bracket at center court. Sioux Central fans, your team advances to the 2A semifinals and will play Dyke New Hartford on Friday at 10 a.m.
Should be a fun matchup Friday morning at 10 o'clock. This concludes the second day of the girls' state basketball tournament. We've got the finales of the 2A quarterfinals. This 2A class is good, Blake. We're going to have Panorama and Grundy Center, Westwood and Central Lyon. Some really strong teams still to play.
It's going to be fun. It's been a great tournament so far. Tomorrow's a really good day as well, so make sure you tune into the Girls Digital Network.
We'll have you covered for the 2A and, of course, all the 1A quarterfinals as well. That'll do it for our coverage. Sioux Central's a winner here in the quarterfinals, defeating Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont 52-48. For all of our great crew here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Blake Walker, I'm Daniel Versteg. Thanks for tuning in to this 2A state quarterfinal. Sioux Central's a winner here at the Girls State Basketball Tournament, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.